Welcome back. In today's lecture, we will cover minor losses. यानी आज हम minor losses lecture 10 की बात करेंगे and this lecture is divided into two sections. The first section I will talk about just the minor losses in general and the second video will be on valves and we'll talk a bit about them. This is chapter number 10 from Applied Fluid Mechanics 7th edition by Robert Mott. Topic is called minor losses. The objectives what I expect you to know at the end of this lecture. जब ये lecture ख़त्म होगा, at the end of this lecture, a student would be able to understand the term resistance coefficient for minor losses and calculate it in different cases. देखें, chapter 7 ने हमने आपको एक equation बताया था for energy losses in general. That energy losses equation was simply HL is equal to K U square upon 2G. Now this K could have been anything. It is resistance coefficient. In the case of Darcy's law, this resistance coefficient was nothing but F multiplied by L upon D multiplied by V square upon 2G, which means that F into L upon D was the value of K. But that is not the case in other different cases. K can be variable. So in this part of the topic, we will discuss how to calculate this resistance coefficient. The second objective that I want you to know is understand the velocity that needs to be taken in each case to calculate the resistance loss. देखें, जब हम velocity की बात करते हैं ना, तो हमारे पास several cases होते हैं. There is a small pipe, there is a large pipe. Obviously, I will go on about this in a bit. When you have two different pipes, there is more than one velocity because the diameter is different. So if the velocity is different for your particular case, you should know whether you should take the velocity of the smaller pipe or whether you should take the velocity of the larger pipe. यानी आपने velocity छोटे pipe की लेनी है या बड़े pipe की लेनी है. ये किस तरह हम demarcate करते हैं, हम आपको अभी बताएंगे. The third point is understand the different cases: sudden and gradual enlargement, sudden and gradual contraction, entrance and exit losses. Basically, in minor losses, we have 6 different cases. 2 of the cases are for enlargement, 2 of the cases are for contraction, and 1 is the entrance case and 1 is the exit case. There is a way of calculating the resistance coefficient in all these cases. You should be able to read graphs to calculate the resistance coefficient in order to do calculation. कभी कभार क्या होता है, we have to calculate the value of K not analytically but via graphs, and that is extremely important. So as a student, if we have, or if you're working in an industry, we have a lot of data. So we should be able to understand from reading of the graphs how to obtain our desired information. That were the first 4 points were what I'm going to cover in today's lecture. I will tell you the last 2 objectives also, but these we will discuss in my next recording. The 5th case is know about valves and be able to differentiate between the valves. Yani we should know what valves are, function of valves, and be able to differentiate between the valves. जब आप इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं तो आपके पास तमाम तरह के valves होते हैं, starting from the simplest, which are the globe valves. You have the gate valves, angular valves, butterfly valves, check valves, blah blah blah. So there are a lot of valves that you can discuss about. Calculate the minor losses in valves using the available data and solve complex problems. जो आपके पास valves होते हैं ना, उनके लिए आपके पास available data होता है. यानी अगर आप schedule 40 यूज़ कर रहे हैं pipe या appendixes यूज़ कर रहे हैं for a different schedule pipe. So there are ways of calculating these minor losses. Again, that is for another day. So coming back to the resistance coefficient, हम जब बात करते हैं resistance coefficient की, एनर्जी लॉसेस आर प्रोपोर्शनल टू द वेलोसिटी हेड। ये हमने आपको चैप्टर 7 में बताया था कि एनर्जी लॉसेस HL इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू वेलोसिटी हेड विच इज u स्क्वायर अपॉन 2g। जब आप प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी साइन हटाएंगे, मैथमेटिकली व्हेन यू रिमूव अ प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी साइन, you equate the equation is equal to some constant. So in other words, your energy loss HL is equal to K, which is some constant multiplied by the velocity head u square upon 2g of the fluid as it flows through an elbow and enlargement or contraction of the flow section or through a valve. अब ये जो resistance coefficient होता है ना, this can be in any equipment. This can be in an elbow flow, an enlargement or contraction of flow section, or through a valve. And these combined are the losses that are formed in your flow. The values of the energy losses are reported by resistance coefficient K. The constant which I was mentioning, the constant K, that is defined as the resistance coefficient and given by this equation that I have already mentioned twice. दो दफा मैं बोल चुका हूँ that HL is nothing but K u square upon 2g. Sometimes there may be more than one velocity. We will talk about cases when there are more than one velocity. For example, the cases of enlargement and contraction. Why is there more than one velocity? There is more than one velocity because two different pipes or areas are used. And according to the continuity equation, Q is equal to, if the flow rate is same, U1 A1 is equal to U2 A2. Based on that principle, if the area is different, the velocities will also differ, since area is inversely proportional to the velocity provided that the flow rate is the same. So there will be at least two different velocities if there are two different pipes. And as a student, we should be able to demarcate that to calculate our resistance coefficient. यानी हमने जब अपना resistance coefficient calculate करना है तो हमें ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि भाई मैं U1 लूँ या U2 लूँ. That is the choice we have to make. So it is important to know which velocity to use with each resistance coefficient. The resistance coefficient is dimensionless. Why is it dimensionless? If you look at this equation, we had already demarcated in lecture 7 that HL is either the unit of energy, in that case it is Newton meter per meter. So unit of energy per, what was it? Sorry, it was not energy per meter, it was energy per weight. So Newton meter per Newton. So the Newton at the top and the Newton at the bottom would cancel. So it can also be written in terms of head loss. So HL has nothing but units of length. Similarly, in chapter 6, if we go back to chapter 6, Bernoulli's equation, I told you that Bernoulli made its principle by three different heads. There was the pressure head, there was the velocity head, and there was the elevation head. The unit of the head was meters. Now this part is the velocity head. So if this unit is meter over here where HL is, and this unit u square upon 2g is also meter, the meter over here cancels with the meter over here. Hence, the unit of the resistance coefficient is, it has no units. It is dimensionless in nature. So the first thing that we've resolved is that K ke units nahi hote, K has no units, but K will have some magnitude. That means it will have some numerical value. The magnitude of K will depend upon the geometry of the device. यानी आपका जो device है, जो भी आपका device है, उसका shape क्या है, geometry क्या है, because that geometry is what causes the loss, and sometimes on the and causes the loss and sometimes on the velocity of flow. That means that the geometry will determine the loss on your flow. So we will describe the process to determine K for calculating energy loss for different minor loss conditions. As I mentioned before, there were 6 different conditions. 2 were the cases for enlargement, 2 were the cases for contraction. 1 was the case for exit loss, and one was the case for entrance loss. ये 6 डिफरेंट केसेस हैं और हम इस चैप्टर में आपको सिखाएंगे कि इनका एनर्जी, ये जो रेजिस्टेंस कोएफिशिएंट है ना, वो किस तरह ढूंढा जाता है। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं सडन इनलार्जमेंट की। जब हम इनलार्जमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं तो आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है? आपके दिमाग में ये आना चाहिए, enlargement means that going from a small area to a large area. That is the meaning in English language of enlargement. Small area to a large area. Second thing, the word sudden. Sudden means this happens extremely fast. It happens fast, sudden enlargement. So diagrammatically, if we look at sudden enlargement, follow my mouse again, from a small opening or a pipe dimension, we go into a large pipe. So automatically we can see that if we are going from a small pipe to a large pipe, if we take the small pipe as P1 and the large pipe as P2, P1 will have a certain diameter, P2 would have a certain diameter. D1 is the diameter of the smaller pipe. D2 is the diameter of the larger pipe. Now, if we talk about diameter, we also know that area is related to the diameter. जितना diameter ज़्यादा होगा, उतना आपका area ज़्यादा होगा। तो पहला वाला जो है, उसका जो diameter है, that is less compared to the diameter of the second pipe. So I also mentioned to you that area is inversely proportional to the velocity provided that the flow rate is the same. Yes, by the continuity principle, we will assume that the flow rate is the same. I showed you the continuity principle in lecture 6. Lecture 6 जो था आपका बर्नौली इक्वेशन का, वहाँ पर हमने आपको continuity principle बताया था. So based on that, we know that the velocity of the smaller pipe, which is determined by U1, is much greater than the velocity of the pipe U2. If I ask you the reason is simple. The area of pipe 2 is larger because the diameter of pipe 2 is larger. Hence, by the principle of continuity equation, the larger the area, the smaller the velocity. तो अब तक बच्चों आपको क्या समझ आ गया कि enlargement is the flow from a small pipe to a large pipe. Let's get back on the note. As the fluid flows from a smaller pipe to a larger pipe, through a sudden enlargement, the velocity will abruptly decrease. Why will the velocity decrease? Area increases. And this happens very fast and abruptly. As a result, because the velocity is decreasing very fast, a turbulence is created. And that turbulence which is created causes energy loss. By the meaning of the word turbulence, I mean chaotic. The flow becomes chaotic. Because the flow becomes chaotic, it will result in an energy loss. The amount of turbulence, that means how much turbulence is being created, because greater the amount of turbulence, greater the amount of energy loss. As a result, amount of turbulence and energy loss will depend upon the ratio of the sizes of two pipes. The amount of turbulence, कि कितना turbulence create हो रहा है, ये दो parameters पे depend करता है. One is the parameter which is the diameter of the two pipes, and the second is the velocity in the smaller pipe. यानी the determining factor for the turbulence is the velocity of the smaller pipe, because naturally speaking, the velocity of the smaller pipe will be greater than the velocity of the larger pipe, and it is the higher velocity which will impact the turbulence. तो दो पैरामीटर आपके इन सडन इनलार्जमेंट के अमाउंट ऑफ टर्बुलेंस के अंदर मैटर करते हैं. पहला आपका मैटर करेगा द रेशियो ऑफ द डायमेंशंस ऑफ द पाइप, द साइजेस ऑफ द पाइप, एंड सेकंड वुड बी द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द फ्लो वेलोसिटी इन द स्मॉलर पाइप. इट इज ऑलवेज द स्मॉलर पाइप. हेंस द एनर्जी लॉस इक्वेशन, जो ओरिजिनल एनर्जी लॉस इक्वेशन था, HL इज इक्वल टू K U square upon 2G था. It was U square upon 2G. It becomes nothing but U1 square upon 2G. Why did I mention U1 square? because it is the smaller pipe which is determining the energy losses. Now, if I tell you that suppose you do not get a graph, then you can also calculate K analytically by this equation, 1 minus ratio of area 1, area 2, which can also be written 1 minus d1 upon d2 whole square whole square. This shows that the point which I already mentioned, that energy loss will depend upon the diameter, because if it depends upon the area, area is directly linked with the diameter, so hence the ratio of the diameter is a significant factor for the cause of turbulence. So we have mentioned two factors for the cause of turbulence and the energy losses. Number one, the ratio of the two diameters of the pipe, the larger pipe and the smaller pipe. Number two, the velocity of the smaller pipe. This diagram I already explained to you. This is the sort of graph that is given to you. Now look at this. On the x-axis, we have the diameter, the ratio of the two pipes, the larger pipe among the smaller pipe. On the y-axis, we have the resistance coefficient K, which can be found graphically. And these curves, each curve represents the velocity in sudden enlargement. The bottom one is 12 meter per second, 9 meter per second, 6 meter per second, 3 meter per second, 1.2 meter per second, and 0.6 meter per second. So it is showing that this parameter, the resistance coefficient of K, depends upon two things. One is the diameter ratio, d2 upon d1 of the larger pipe to the smaller pipe. Other is the velocity of the smaller pipe. Because you can see over here, all these velocities are u1. u1, which means that small pipe is the dominating feature in this velocity. Let's take a small example. My example is, determine the energy loss that will occur as 100 liter minute water flows through a sudden enlargement made from two sizes of copper hydraulic tubing. The small tube is 25 millimeter, and while the large tube is 80 millimeter. Appendix G can be used to calculate the tube dimensions and areas. Number one, you can see that there are two different pipes. So automatically, if there are two different pipes, you can find out the areas of the two different pipes. There are two ways to find the areas. Number one, if you have the data, you go back in the appendix and you write down the values, because the values are only for the internal diameter. So that works. The second way is, suppose you do not have the data. You use the old formula that I told you. Internal diameter is nothing but outer diameter minus 2 times thickness. Don't forget to change the units into SI meter. So that is one part of the problem done, that you have two different areas, and you can either copy the area or do pi d square upon 4. The second step is that you find two different velocities. One would be the velocity of the smaller pipe, one would be the velocity of the larger pipe. Now you know I have constantly been repeating in this course. मैंने बहुत दफा इस कोर्स में बोला है, the only equation which links the velocity to the flow rate is Q is equal to UA. यानी अगर आपके पास flow rate हो तो दो पैरामीटर्स जो आपको चाहिए वो U और A चाहिए. And if you already have the A and you have the flow rate, you can easily find out the velocity. So what do we do? The first and foremost thing is to check if our flow rate is in SI unit. It is not. It is 100 liter per minute. The SI unit in for flow rate is meter cube per second. So first of all, we need to convert our flow rate into meter cube per second. यानी हमने पहले मीटर क्यूब पर सेकेंड में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. हमारे पास हमारी एरिया मीटर स्क्वायर में है, तो we get our velocity in meter per second. That is exactly what I've done. From the data given, I know my D1, I know my D2. I can easily calculate A1, either I copy it from the data or simply do pi d square upon 4. दोनों एरियाज मुझे मिल गई. फ्लो रेट ऑब्वियसली चेंज नहीं होता, I convert the flow rate into SI. Now I find out the resistance coefficient. The resistance coefficient can be found out by this graph. We know that by graph d2 upon d1, the ratio of d2 upon d1 can be taken directly from here. The bigger diameter was 80 millimeter, smaller diameter was 25 millimeter. And U1 and U2, U1 was coming 4 point something, 4.38, which I had found. The reason I'm talking about U1 is because I said that in enlargement cases, our interest is in the smaller pipe. तो अगर मैं 3.8 3.3 को देखूं, 3.3 comes somewhere over here. I take a vertical line upwards from 3.3. I already found the velocity using the equation Q is equal to UA. I know my velocity is 4 point something. If this bottom curve is 12, the second is 9, the third is 6, the fourth is 3. So I have to make an imaginary curve between 3 and 6, which I will assume is at 4. The point where it intersects with 3.3, I read it cross like this. So this value comes to 0.704 in this case, around that value. So I know that is my resistance coefficient value. Once I know my resistance coefficient value, यानी अगर मुझे मेरी resistance coefficient की value मालूम है, K की value, मैंने simply velocity head के अंदर बाकी की चीजें डाल देनी है. U1 की value डालनी है. U1 is found out by Q is equal to U1 A1. I have a value of U1 which is 4.3 something. I can easily find out the energy loss. So when I did D2 upon D1, I got 3.382. I read the value of K at 3.382 with the velocity calculate. Look how I calculate the velocity. Q is equal to U1 A1. I got a velocity 4.3848. From the chart, K value is around 0.740. I explained that all in my explanation. तो HL मुझे कैसे मिल जाएगा? K U1 square upon 2G. So my HL is coming roughly to 0.725 meter. Second case, then we do another example for the data, the same data we are talking about. Determine the difference between pressure head of the sudden enlargement and pressure downstream from the enlargement. Whenever I talk about pressure head, जब pressure head की बात करते हैं तो सिर्फ एक ही equation दिमाग में आता है जो आपका है energy equation. And continuously we have been talking about energy equation. We were introduced to the energy equation in lecture 7. Then in lecture 8, we did the change in pressure. In lecture 9, we did the change in pressure. Now in lecture 10, we are doing the change in pressure. So you should know the energy equation by heart and you should know how to write it. For example, the energy equation is nothing but P1 upon gamma plus Z1 plus U1 whole square upon 2G plus HA minus HR minus HL is equal to P1 upon 2G, P1 upon G upon gamma, sorry, P2 upon gamma plus Z2 plus U2 square upon 2G. We can easily calculate, cancel out Z1 and Z2 because it is in the same line, 0. There is no HA, there is no HR, also cancel out 0. In the previous example, we were cancelling out U1 square and U2 square because the flow was in the one pipe. Here two pipes are used, so you cannot cancel out U1 and U2 on your own. In the previous example, we already calculated the value of U1 and U2. हमारे पास जब दो एरियाज थी तो दो एरियाज के जरिए सेम फ्लो रेट से हमने U2 निकाल लिया था, U1 निकाल लिया था. ये देखें HL हमने 0.725 पहले निकाला था, U1 भी हमने पहले निकाला था. जिस तरह हमने U1 निकाला था, from using continuity equation we take out U2. Once we have U2, just simply put it in the pressure equation. you will find out the value of delta P. In this case, it is negative 2.42 kilopascal, which means that it is below atmospheric pressure. Then we have the case of an exit loss. Look at the difference between sudden enlargement and exit loss. Sudden enlargement was nothing but flow from a small pipe to a large pipe. Exit loss is the flow from a small pipe into a reservoir. जो रिजर्वायर होता है ना, वो ह्यूज होता है. आपको मैंने लेक्चर 6 में बताया था जब हम रिजर्वायर की बात करते हैं. और जाहिर सी बात है, अगर वो ह्यूज होता है तो उसकी वॉल्यूम सिग्निफिकेंटली लार्ज होगी. छोटी नहीं होगी, बड़ी नहीं होगी, बहुत बड़ी होगी. Greater the volume, smaller the velocity. So the velocity is almost negligible. If it is negligible, we ignore the velocity head क्योंकि वो तकरीबन जीरो हो जाएगा. तो exit loss के अंदर हमारा कौन सा velocity काम की होती है? U1 velocity काम की होती है, which means that the velocity of the smaller pipe. और इस इक्वेशन में, इसके एनर्जी लॉस इक्वेशन में हम अज्यूम करते हैं कि K की वैल्यू फिक्स्ड है एट 1. यानी ये हमारा इक्वेशन और भी आसान हो जाता है. In the previous example of sudden enlargement, we had to find the value of K graphically. How did we find out? By the ratio of the diameters to the velocity. Here we assume it is 1. So the question becomes easy, and we only apply the same part for the velocity head u1 square upon 2g, because we are only interested in the velocity of the smaller pipe and not the larger pipe. So this case or this condition is known as exit loss. So let me repeat, how do we differentiate exit loss from a sudden enlargement? Sudden enlargement में क्या होता है? That the flow is from a small pipe into a large pipe. Sudden enlargement में जो आपका flow हो रहा होता है वो एक छोटे पाइप से बड़े पाइप में हो रहा है. और exit loss में क्या हो रहा है? छोटे पाइप से reservoir में flow हो रहा है. That means that in exit loss, the flow is just from a small pipe into a large reservoir. Because of that flow, your resistance coefficient in an exit loss is always considered to be 1. तो आपने resistance coefficient ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है. All you need to write as HL is nothing but 1 multiplied by U1 square upon 2G. This is an example of an exit loss. You can look, a small pipe is going into a large tank or a reservoir. Example 10.3. Determine the energy loss that will occur as 100 milliliter of minute of water flows from a copper tube into a large tank. Simple. Just follow the steps as we did before. Get the area, you have the Q, find the velocity. HL is nothing but what? K U square upon 2G. In this case, you will keep K as 1 because it is exit loss. U square would mean the velocity of the pipe, which in this case is U1 square upon 2G. Look at the HL. That is all you need to do. Gradual enlargement. अब देखें, एक चीज होती है sudden enlargement, एक चीज होती है gradual enlargement. Both are cases of enlargement. The only difference is that in sudden enlargement, the enlargement is very fast and rapid. In gradual enlargement, the enlargement is slow. You can control the enlargement. So if you control the enlargement and it is slow, obviously your energy losses would be less than the energy losses in sudden enlargement. We will note that. The first thing of difference. Second thing is that in the first case of sudden enlargement, it was the ratio of the diameters with the velocity, because velocity was the factor which was causing turbulence. In this particular case, the turbulence is caused but it is actually caused by creating an angle between the flow. That angle is created by keep placing a cone between the flow of the fluid. जब आप कोन डालते हैं ना, तो कोन एक certain angle के ऊपर project करता है. That angle is what helps you in controlling the flow, how gradual it is. So if the transition from this, but again it is enlargement, you are going from the smaller to the larger pipe. If the transition from the smaller pipe to the larger one is less abrupt, look at the keyword less abrupt. As a result, energy loss is reduced. This is done by placing a conical section between two pipes. आपका वही डायग्राम है, छोटा पाइप और बड़ा पाइप, दोनों के बीच में आपने एक कोन डाल दी है. You introduce a cone between a small pipe and the large pipe. The amount of turbulence would be significantly reduced by the size of the cone angle. And obviously, if the amount of turbulence reduces, what happens as a result? The energy loss reduces. The energy loss for gradual enlargement is the same as for a sudden enlargement. The formula wise, HL is nothing but K U1 square upon 2G. K will depend upon the ratio of the larger diameter to the smaller diameter, D2 upon D1, and the angle produced. You can see in this diagram that the flow is from a small pipe to a larger pipe with a cone angle in the middle. Similarly to the diagram in an enlargement case, sudden enlargement, where it was the ratio of the diameter to the velocity, here it is the ratio of the diameter to the angle. Whatever angle is given to in the question, you select that as your curve. Or if it is an angle in between, you make a imaginary curve. So I don't think you should have a problem with this numerical. Determine the energy loss that will occur at the same conditions. Same thing as we did example 1. What I want you to observe is, look at the answer of HL. In gradual enlargement, HL is coming 0.470. If we remember properly, in sudden enlargement, the HL was 0.7 something. 0.7, 0.4 से clear है, बड़ा है. So as a comment, you would say that sudden enlargement would always have a greater energy loss than gradual enlargement. उसकी वजह क्या है? Sudden enlargement में turbulent is created very fast. It is very chaotic in nature. It produces fast. As a result, the energy losses is significantly greater than the energy loss in a gradual enlargement. Now we talk about sudden contraction. देखें, जब आप enlargement की बात कर रहे हैं ना, तो contraction उसका opposite होता है. Enlargement में क्या होता है? Enlargement में the flow is from a small pipe into a large pipe. यानी enlargement is flow from a small pipe into a large pipe. Contraction is the opposite. It is a flow from a large pipe to a small pipe, which means that your large pipe is supposed to have D1, A1, and velocity U1. The smaller pipe has the diameter D2, area A2, velocity U2. Clearly you can see that HL in a contraction is K U2 square upon 2G. Enlargement में क्या हो रहा था? U1 square upon 2G. Contraction में क्या हो रहा है? U2 square upon 2G. If you get confused, you do not know whether to take the value of U1 or whether you take the value of U2. I will tell you the layman's method. It is not the best method to remember your fluid mechanics with, because it shows that you have no understanding. But for your easiness, the trick is always take the velocity of the smaller pipe, because the smaller pipe is the demarcating feature. कहने का मकसद ये है कि हमेशा स्मॉलर पाइप की वेलोसिटी लिया करें वेलोसिटी हेड के लिए. अगर इनलार्जमेंट का केस हो रहा है तो स्मॉल पाइप से बड़े पाइप में जाएगा. इन इनलार्जमेंट इट गोज फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल पाइप टू अ लार्ज पाइप, so you take the first velocity because that is the velocity of the smaller pipe. In contraction, it comes from the large pipe to the small pipe. क्योंकि it is coming from the large pipe to the small pipe, आप लेंगे velocity small pipe की, which is u2. So what I mean to say is you will take the velocity of the small pipe in the case of contraction, which is u2. So whether you go from to an enlargement or whether you come through the contraction, the layman's method is the velocity to be kept in mind is always the velocity of the small pipe. So please knock that down in your head, that for this specific portion, for to find out the K value, the demarcating pipe is always the smallest pipe, the small pipe. So this is the reverse of sudden enlargement. The energy losses are considered in which the velocity of the smaller pipe again. The flow is from a larger pipe to a smaller pipe, and the energy loss is calculated by HL is equal to K U square upon 2G. The resistance coefficient is the ratio of the diameter of the two pipes. देखें, again it is the ratio of diameter of two pipes, but because you are going as the ratio of from the larger pipe to the smaller pipe, इस केस में the ratio is d1 upon d2, larger upon smaller. In the other case, it was also larger upon smaller, but in the other case, enlargement, it was d2 upon d1. Here, it is going to be d1 upon d2. The streamline flow is produced as it approaches the contraction. When your flow is approaching the contraction, yani it is going from a large area to a small area, it is coming to a contraction. There is streamline flow. Another name for streamline flow is laminar flow. आपको जब मैंने velocity profile दिखाए थे, I told you that laminar flow was the streamline flow. In the lecture circular flow, I showed you two velocity profiles, the laminar velocity profile and the turbulent flow velocity profile. So I told you over there that laminar flow is always called streamline flow. It is parallel flow. It does not go in a perpendicular manner or haphazardly. So it approaches the contraction and a curved path is produced. If we take a look at this diagram, you can look at this diagram. In a contraction from a large pipe, it is going to a smaller pipe. As it is reaching the contraction, because it comes into a smaller pipe, we can see that the flow becomes curved in nature, as is shown over here. A point comes in the flow value is smaller than the value of flow in the smaller pipe. If you look at this smaller pipe, there is a point. This is a point where the value is smaller than the value of the flow in the small pipe, and this region is called the vena contracta. So if I ever ask you what is the vena contracta, at the vena contracta, the value of the velocity or the value of the flow velocity is smaller than the velocity of the smaller pipe. यानी ये ऐसा flow velocity है जहां पर आपकी flow की value normal pipe से कम होती है, तो इसको हम वीना कॉन्ट्रैक्टा बोलते हैं. इस पॉइंट के बाद आपका फ्लो स्लो हो जाएगा एंड एक्सपैंड अगेन टू फिल द पाइप. दिस इज द वीना कॉन्ट्रैक्टा. कंपेयर दिस वैल्यू ओवर हियर. देयर इज अगेन गोइंग टू बी एक्सपेंशन एंड द वेलोसिटी बिकम्स स्लोअर. फ्लो बिकम्स स्लोअर. अब इस पाइप में क्या होता है कॉन्ट्रैक्शन में? The turbulence is caused first by contraction, then by expansion of the pipe, resulting in the heat loss. So again, the resistance coefficient is caused by turbulence. But how is this turbulence created in sudden contraction? First is going to be caused by the contraction of the pipe. Larger area coming to a smaller area. Contraction. There is turbulence caused. And then once it reaches the vena contracta, to go back in the smaller pipe, it will expand. So that will cause further heat loss. So for a given ratio of diameter change area loss from a sudden contraction, it is lower than the energy loss by a sudden enlargement. If the pipes are the same, everything is same, only there's a difference of enlargement and contraction. the energy lost in a sudden enlargement is greater than the energy lost in a sudden contraction. In short, there is always more energy loss in enlargement. यानी enlargement के अंदर आपकी ज़्यादा energy loss होगी compared to contraction. These two diagrams I mentioned to you. Look at this diagram. It is similar to the velocity diagram of sudden enlargement. You need to find out the diameter ratio d1 upon d2, and you need to find out the velocity. In this case, it is velocity u2. Over here, you can clearly see that this graph says u2, but in your term or in layman's language, you can simply say it is the velocity of the smaller pipe. तो अगर contraction हो रहा है तो आपका area of interest smaller pipe है, and the smaller pipe is the second pipe. So you are interested in velocity too. Once you have the corresponding velocity and the corresponding ratio, simply read the coefficient factor. So this numerical is the same as example 10.1. We have all the data. I assume that D1 was found for the large pipe, small pipe as was found for example 1. A1 and A2 I've already told you countless times how to find them. U2 and U1 were found by the velocity flow rate. Then we take out the ratio of D1 upon D2. Look, the ratio is the same. That is because only the positioning of the pipe is changed. Nothing else has changed. Then I can use the chart and find out the K value. Sudden contraction, 0.42. And what was it coming in the sudden enlargement? 0.75 something. So once I apply HL is equal to KU2 square upon 2G, I can get a value 0.415 meter. This energy loss was 0.7 something meter in a sudden enlargement. So hence a smaller HL compared to sudden enlargement, which was about 0.755. So in short, a sudden contraction or contraction will always have less energy loss than an expansion. Contraction के अंदर आपकी जो energy loss होगी वो हमेशा contraction के expansion के निस्बतन कम होगी. Then there's a gradual contraction. Gradual contraction is very similar to gradual expansion. Again, you put cone in the middle. You can control the flow. And again, it is dependent upon the angles, as was sudden gradual enlargement. There's a cone in the middle, the same procedure, take the ratio of the diameters, get your desired answer. And over here also you can see that the resistance coefficient, it decreases as it increases as the angle increases. The only thing important to note is that this resistance coefficient graph is only valid for gradual contraction with 0 till 15 degrees, greater than 15 degrees, where theta is greater or equal to 15 degrees, not 0, sorry. Moment it is less than 15 degree, we can see that energy losses also increase. यानी अगर 15 डिग्री से कम है तो ये आपको ग्राफ दिख रहा है कि आपका जो resistive coefficient है वो बढ़ रहा है. It is a squiggly line going up. So this is the one thing you should keep in mind, that before 15 degree it rises abruptly. Above 15 degrees there is no problem. The last and final case was the entrance loss. So as I told you about the enlargement case and the contraction case, यानी enlargement case was the opposite of contraction. Similarly, an entrance loss is the opposite of an exit loss. यानी entrance loss होगा ना, वो opposite of the exit loss होगा. Exit loss मैंने आपको क्या बताया था? मैंने आपको बताया था exit loss is the flow from a small pipe into a flow from a reservoir. The opposite happens from entrance pipe. It is the area, it is the flow from a large reservoir into a small pipe. So again, our area of interest is small pipe. The only thing that we need to keep in mind is जिस तरह exit loss के अंदर आपकी K की value 1 थी, there is no fixed value for K is equal to 1 in entrance loss. Either you need to calculate it or it is usually given. So these were the main fundamentals for the entrance loss, and we can clearly see by the example that HL is equal to K U2 square upon 2G. We can see that it is K. K does not have a value like 1, as was the case in an exit loss. So entrance loss can be of different types. There is the inward projecting pipe, there is the square edge inlet, there is the chambered inlet, there is the bounded inlet. The common thing that you can see in all of these is flow comes from the reservoir into the tube pipe. That is why it is known as a entrance loss. The other thing common you can see it that each pipe has a certain K value, or this K value is given in the table 0, 0.50, 0.28, 2415. So these values are always given to you in the question to make your lives simpler. For example, let's do a question. Determine the energy loss that will occur at 100 meter liter of minute. Water flows from a reservoir into a copper hydraulic tube having a diameter 25 millimeter in an upward projecting tube. We should first know the formula for HL. HL is equal to K U square upon 2G. In this case, it will be U2 because it is going from the reservoir into a pipe. I assume I have already calculated my U2 based on the area of the pipe and taken it from the literature. The only thing left is K. But my question says an inward projecting tube, and your question will always say that. So you would be provided with these K values, or you get to read them from the table. You can see over here it says inward projecting tube, K is equal to 0.78. You will use this in the equation. The second question says a well-rounded inlet. If you come over here, you can see that the well-rounded inlet has a K value of 0.04. So you can easily copy down this value from here, 0.04, and you know your U2 value will not change until and unless the diameter of your pipe changes. Yes, if the diameter changes, the area will change. As a result, the velocity will change. But we are assuming everything is constant, so nothing changes. So these were the 6 cases I discussed. Let's have a little recap. This is a numerical, and you can see how I've solved this. In our little recap, we discussed 6 cases. 2 were enlargement cases, 2 were contraction cases, 1 was an exit loss, 1 was an entrance loss. You should know that which velocity to take in which case. If you're totally blank, आपको नहीं मालूम मैं कौन सी velocity लूं, हमेशा it is the velocity of the smaller pipe. In the case of enlargement and the case of loss, the smaller pipe goes to a larger pipe or to a reservoir, large reservoir. You incorporate U1. In the case of entrance pipe, entrance loss, or what contraction, it is always from a larger pipe to a small pipe or the reservoir to a small pipe. So you will still consider the small pipe. कहने का मतलब ये कि इस पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन में स्मॉल पाइप की ही वेलोसिटी कैलकुलेट की जाती है. That is the second point. The third point is the energy loss. Energy loss in contraction is less than the energy loss in expansion. सडन की बात कर रहा हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि वहां पर टर्बुलेंस बहुत तेज होती है सडन इनलार्जमेंट के अंदर, और इनलार्जमेंट के अंदर डायरेक्ट आपके लॉसेस हो रहे हैं फ्रॉम फ्रिक्शन ऑफ द फ्लूइड ऑल्सो. इधर क्या हो रहा है? इधर एक लॉस हो रहा है आपका contraction के अंदर till it is coming to vena contracta. From a vena contracta, it is then expanding. So the loss is slow, the loss is less. So these were the major points, and I showed you how to solve numericals. So you should understand these, practice them out, and if you have a problem,
ask me in the next class. Next class, you can ask me. So I expect you to know all these formulas. They are not that difficult. The conditions, and in tomorrow's lecture, we will talk about vowels. Have a good day. Thank you for your time.